Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the RAMBAM. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, we are over 175 days into the learning of the RAMBAM. We started with Sefer Mada in the RAMBAM in Mishnah Torah, and we have already completed from the beginning Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah. We completed Hilchos Deos, and now we are in Hilchos Talmud Torah, Perek Beis, the second chapter. Today is Halacha Vav, number 6. You are allowed to transfer a student from one teacher to another, if the other teacher is going to teach him quicker and better. Whether it is in the written word of the Torah Shebiksav, or even diktuk, even in grammar, you're going to teach him how to read and understand things better. What are we speaking about over here? That's when both of these Rebbeim are in the same city. And there's not a river that is separating between them. That's a large, arduous trip and could be dangerous. That far you don't have to go. But if you're going from one city to the other, from one side of the river to the other, even if it's in the same exact city, you're not allowed to bring this child unless there was a very strong bridge that's going over the river, a bridge that is not going to fall very quickly. So it seems to be from the RAMBAM over here that although that there's an idea that we should make sure that our kids are learning from the best Rebbeim that is possible, and that is the ones that are going to teach them the best, maybe teach them more, teach them quicker, if a child has such a grasp in that. But to put a child in danger in order to be able to learn more Torah, that much we're not going to do for sure. Now the Rambam writes over here in Zion, in number 7, and this concludes the second chapter. Let's say that there is an alleyway that many houses open up to, and one of the owners of those houses would like to open up inside of his house like a yeshiva. He wants to make it a place where boys are going to come and learn. If he wants to, none of the neighbors are allowed to protest. Now, even though that there are other things in the alleyway that you would not be allowed to open up in your house, because it's going to stare, it's going to bother the other people. For example, if you want to make a tannery or even a tailor shop where people are coming and going, and maybe the smell is not going to be so good and there's going to be a lot of extra traffic. So the other members of that alleyway, they could protest and say, we don't want the extra traffic over here. We don't want so many people walking through and making so much noise. But when it comes to making a little yeshiva or a cheder inside of your house, where children are going to be learning Torah, as we pointed out before, that we are living on the Hevel PM, on the air and the Torah of the Tinoike Shel Beis Rabban, the children of Klal Yisrael. So on that, you cannot protest, you cannot argue, even though it will be noisy and parents are going to be dropping off their kids and they're going to come and speak to the teacher and the kids are going to have to play outside and so on and so forth. Even still, for the sake of Torah, it's so great, no complaints. V'chein so too, malamed tinoike sheba chaveiro, upasech bayis, lalamed tinoikes betzido. So too, let's say you already have your cheder, you have your school, and a friend of yours comes along and he opens up a school right near you, right next to you, says the Rambam, betzido, next to you, because he wants other children to come and study with him. Or in order that what? In order that the children that are studying with him should be able to come to him as well. Which means either I'm looking for new talmidim, new students, or even some of your students can come and learn with me as well. You are not able to protest and argue against him, even though that if I would have, for example, let's say a pizza shop, and somebody comes and he opens a pizza shop right next to me, I could argue and say, that's not fair, I was here first. Let's say that I have a clothing shop, and you come and you open a clothing shop, the same exact clothes right next to me. I could argue and say, I was here first. But when it comes to Torah, for our children, says the Rambam, you have no right to protest against him. Shenemar, like it says in the pasuk, Hashem chafetz leman tzidkoi, HaKadosh Baruch Hu desires for the sake of his righteousness, Yagdil Torah v'Yadir, to make the Torah great and glorious, and therefore more people opening up chidarim, more people opening up schools, more kindlach, more children are learning. That's the greatest glory to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Have a wonderful day.